last video, I showed you how to find out which competitor to compare to in order to run the gap analysis. Now, the next part of this is to essentially run some numbers to find out, okay, what is the actual gap? What is the gap between your product and your competitor product? Why are they beating you? That is what we're trying to find out. And then ultimately what we're trying to find out is what keywords are they beating me with so that I can target those. So how do we fill out this tab here? So in tab called gap analysis, and this is strictly numbers, and it's fairly simple to fill out. What you're going to do is hop back over here, and again, you now only have yourself and the competitor on here, and we're going to pull some numbers. So whenever you hide these other competitors, what ends up happening is it changes the number of keywords here. Now, there's 1,400 or 1,402 keywords that are total that these two competitors or myself and the competitor are ranked for. So I'm going to use that number. I come over here and say 1,402. All right. That's the total keyword count between you and the competitor. And then we're going to notate our market depth and the competitor. So we're just pulling this stuff directly from this section here. So 57.63. Actually, I'm going to move that over here. And that actually equated to 808 keywords. So we would put 808 keywords right there. We're going to do the same thing for our competitor. All right. So again, we're just trying to figure out exactly what the difference is. And all right. So when I look at this, I have more market depth, right? That's what we notice here, and that's okay. What we're going to find out is what's the difference between high volume keywords next. So I said they're ranked higher on page 1 for more important keywords than I am. In other words, the keywords that they're ranked for are driving more traffic than the ones that I'm ranked for. That's what this essentially means. We're going to find out if that's true. So in order to find this high volume gap, we're going to apply a filter to determine what that actually is. Now, when you're putting in the search volume minimum here, right? So we're saying high volume. You could base it on anything over 100. So when we do that, this 1,400 number changes quite a bit. It ends up going all the way down to 127. Personally, I like to do this because it gives me more keywords. But if, let's say you still had like 2,000 results or something crazy high, then increase this number. Go to 500 or something, right? And we'll use that for this particular example. And we'll say what keywords have over 500 searches a month that we're both ranked for. And there's 84. So the total keyword count is 84. There's 84 high volume keywords between the two of us, okay? And what this is telling me next is the market depth again. Now, ironically, I still have higher market depth here. So, all right, we're gonna see if that point, is it the number of keywords that matters or is it the position at the top of page 1? All right, so in this particular case, we're gonna do the same thing, 53 and 63.1. And we're going to look at our competitor, 44 and 52.38. All right, so there's the gap of the high volume keywords. Arguably, what we really want to find out is, okay, of these high volume keywords, where do I rank and where does the competitor rank? All right. Now, the reason we're looking at this is because when we start putting these keywords in our ads, what we should see is our keywords shifting higher up on this list. So how do we find out what these are and how do we notate that on here? So what I like to do is cheat a little bit. So what I am going to do, I'm going to leave this filter applied, but I only want to see what I'm ranked for and what they're ranked for. So I can actually do this by removing the competitor. And the only thing left is myself, okay? And there's only 69 keywords left, cool. And as you can see, the market depth changes again, and that's okay. That's what we wanna see. And what we're gonna do is say, best ASIN rank, max of 5. So this is saying, what are you in position 1 through 5 for? And it says 7, cool, number 7. All right, do the same thing. Oops, I think I moved this page a little bit on you. Hopefully you can still see everything. And we're gonna do the same thing. So 6 through 10, whoops. And hit apply. There are 6 And we're going to go down this list for every one of these sections. Now, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to fill this out, and then I will, or before I do that, you're going to repeat this, go through the same steps for every basically spread that you see here. So between 11 and 30, 31 and 60, and then over 60. Okay, you're going to do that for your product. And then what you're going to do is just repeat the process with your competitor. Okay, so turn your competitor back on, turn yourself off, and you're going to run the same analysis. All right, so in position 6 through 10, they have 12 keywords that they're ranked for. So we would put 12 here. So right away, we can see that they're definitely ranked for more keywords in that position. So I'm going to fill this out, and then we're going to look at what we have. Okay, now that we've done that, what we see is the results are pretty darn similar, right? I actually have more keywords on page 1 than they do, technically. So again, what we're trying to find out at this point, the last and final thing is, okay, of the keywords that they rank for versus the ones that I rank for, are their keywords driving more traffic? If they're driving more traffic, they can get more sales. So that's what we need to find out.